Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Debbie Roche. I am a chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner located in St. Petersburg, Florida. Today I want to talk to you about increasing sex drive naturally. This is a super common health situation. I've encountered many people actually over the last month or two that are having issues with their sex drive. And usually you'll find it around like 30, 35 and then up. And for several reasons, as we age, the level of our certain hormones are going to naturally decrease as we go through certain life changes. However, there's an area that is not well addressed in Western medicine and a lot of other areas that drastically impact this process, and it is the adrenal glands and the HPA axis. Now, the adrenal glands actually produce some of the precursors to your hormones. Specifically, pregnenolone is going to be one of the main precursors to making your hormones, and your adrenal glands actually make pregnenolone. So if you're having issues with your adrenal glands and part of the system that kind of regulates the adrenal glands is called your HPA axis, and your HPA axis involves your hypothalamus, your pineal gland, and your adrenal glands. And so, if you've dealt with a lot of stress, illness, loss, stress actually is registered in the body the same, whether it be emotional, physical, mental, or any stress in the body is going to impact your adrenal glands and your HPA axis. And so over time, it actually wears down and more down and more down, and you'll start to have a decrease and fluctuations in certain hormones that your adrenal glands create, specifically pregnenolone and DHEA and cortisol. And so you have this decrease in your hormones, and because traditional testing out there, especially when it comes, when it comes time for yearly physicals and certain common, blood tests and urine tests aren't going to catch this imbalance. I've never in my 20 years of going to my primary care physician have I ever been tested for a saliva, cortisol, and DHA test, ever. And these two, and that's one of the main ways of determining whether you have an adrenal gland or HPA axis dysfunction. And so this system, your adrenal glands and your HPA axis, when they get worn down and they start decreasing some of these key hormones, what happens is that your sex hormones are not made. And so you have a major decrease in those sex hormones. And as a result, you will not have your normal sex drive. And so one of the ways from a functional medicine perspective that sex drive can be increased to normal levels is that we address your adrenal glands and HPA axis system. And as a result, we help your body start making normal levels of pregnenolone and DHA and cortisol. And we get your brain and your adrenal gland system actually coordinated again. And there are many different ways of doing that, from diet to certain lifestyle principles to certain specific nutrients, and making sure you're not deficient in specific nutrients, and making sure that we actually coordinate your brain with your adrenal glands, and that can be done through certain nutrients and things like that. And so I wanted to show you the kind of like a simplified version of this pathway to kind of understand from a biochemical perspective what's going on. I tend to really love biochemistry. I always have. I love cells. I'm a little bit nerdy like that. And so I try to always pull that in a little bit with these videos, because I think it's so important to be educated, especially out in the world where there's so much conflicting information about health and wellness. And so when it comes to this, what the common treatment out there for low sex drive is that you'll be given a synthetic version of these, certain hormones. And that will work sometimes a little bit. Sometimes it'll work a little bit. Sometimes it won't work at all. Sometimes it'll work for a while. But whenever we incorporate anything synthetic into the body, oftentimes there's a repercussion from a biochemical perspective. It will shift pathways. Your body will feel that it's getting this substance, so it won't make it enough on its own. So there's always kind of a consequence to taking something that's synthetic. So So we start with the precursor of pregnenolone. And what happens is that if you're having too much stress in your body and your body has to make more cortisol over time to kind of adapt to that stress, what happens is that this biochemistry actually shifts to this pathway to make the cortisol, right, instead of making your sex hormones. And so, and over time, there are many things that impact this, including the, nutrition, lifestyle, wellness, but also, certain neurological imbalances that happen with too much stress that occur over time that can be corrected from a functional medicine perspective. So you have pregnenolone shifted this way to make the cortisol instead of your sex hormones. And as a result, you'll feel, many symptoms associated with those decreased hormones. And one of them is going to be a much, much lower sex drive. So if you have any questions about this or anything else, or if I can help you in any way on your health and wellness journey, please don't hesitate to contact me. Please share the video if you found it helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.